So you're cutting through leather. This is among the finest millages of leather. It's quite thick, very heavy, and just for the heck of it, I tried to butt this seam against this one, and it didn't work. There was a 1/16 of an inch gap, and then in the middle there was 1/8 of an inch gap. The leather is so stubborn, it doesn't lend itself to butt joints. Oddly enough, the directions say absolutely nothing about the cut. And here's why. I really believe that it's about liability. And I believe all of you guys who hang, you'll agree with me that the manufacturer does not want to commit themselves to telling you to double cut it or to give yourself a butt joint. I really believe I know what I'm talking about here. They don't want to say, well, we told you to do it the other way, or they don't want you to say, well, you told me to do it this way. And so we're stuck with having to make a decision. And in wallpaper hanging, there's only a few general rules, because ultimately it's what looks best, okay? And so, of course, we have to double cut it, because I don't trust that when the glue evaporates, that the seam, if I butt the seams together, would stay, even if I were able to move it all together. Remember, I said there was a 1/16 of an inch gap up here, 1/8 of an inch gap there. It's stubborn, and so it's like putting on a winter coat. It's not perfectly straight, you know. It's been in the closet for a while. You know what I'm saying? And unless you have it steamed, it's gonna be a little off, you know. And so let's do our double cut. This is an almost 12-foot wall, and so we have to do it. We have to do it with a blade. I have a cutting tool that moves, so I don't trust it. I'm trusting it to this. Okay, I have my laser line up there. You can't see it, but I actually have a laser red line. Okay, I got a new blade. Let me just make sure I cut it. I tell you, man, if you don't get injured during one of these installations, you're not doing it right. I just pulled my arm. Let me give it a second. Oh, okay. So anyway, I want you guys that hang to tell me, what do you use to hang wallpaper 21 feet in the air? I'm not using a scaffold, so please suggest something else. Tell me what you use. Okay. I want to thank Dan Childs for coming up with an incredible tool. Awesome idea. Thank you, Dan, for sending that to me. I had a guy fighting with me yesterday on YouTube. You know, asinine remarks. It's just, people are so uncharitable, you know. He says, I was wrestling with 54-inch wallpaper. And anybody who hangs paper knows we all wrestle with 54-inch wallpaper. What's the news about that? You know? They get jealous that you have a channel, that you're teaching people, and then they know something, so they feel somehow challenged. And they feel somehow inadequate. Go figure. Okay. I'm just going along here. I'm sort of following my laser line. I'm just sticking with the edge of this wall covering, keeping it equidistant as I move down. It would be foolish if I were to rush this. Very foolish. Nice and easy. Leather is not easy to double cut. If you should get a little lazy and you don't apply an equal amount of pressure, you might find yourself with an unsevered edge in intermittent parts of it. So take your time. Take your time to do a perfect job. So what, it takes you an hour longer to get out of the job. Who cares? This stuff will be up for years and it'll have your name all over it. So what, it took you longer. The guys who rush get callbacks. Trust me when I tell you. They get the callbacks. Bubbles, this, that, everything. And then you gotta go back to the job anyway. Oh boy. All right. I always dread this part. I'm always anticipating that perhaps I didn't cut it fully through and through. Used to happen a lot when I first started double cutting. I mean, not a lot, but it happened 5 times and it was not pretty. That's a lot. So, you want to cut it enough. Can't emphasize that enough. Okay. Okay, basic thing, when you're going to cut this trim, you obviously cut this first. This is a penetration of an electric thing. Obviously we need to address this first. So the wall covering lays down against it, right? Now you see how she lays down easily. Okay. A fellow on YouTube suggested, I want to share it with people. So I did a video on how to cover these outlets, right? So he says, I just wiped them off, you know. And another guy said, you know, the glue just comes right off. So I said, yeah, well, I like to cover it. But another guy, I think his name was Matt. You know the baby things, the protection? You just put them in there, it prevents the glue. It's a great idea. I don't have them yet, but you just put them in here and it holds up the openings so that you don't get glue in there. It's a great idea. Alrighty, so get that glue fast, folks. There's too many nooks and crannies on this wall covering. Wow, that looks awesome. I do love I do enjoy it a lot. Now, you'll never see me do this on wallpaper or vinyl going across the seam when the seam is this way, but on leather, it's not going anywhere. And it's better to clean it crisscross. You get in all these little nooks and crannies. This is a sea sponge, it's 15 bucks from Sherwin-Williams. Not cheap. But folks, come on, look at that seam. Show them the seam, please. Look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful and perfect that seam is. Believe me, it looks as good in person as it does on your camera. It is seamless, it really is. You cannot see it at all. Now, nice young lady from Texas. Awesome paper hanger from Texas. Now, well, she's from Texas and she's hanging in Wyoming, but she's a traveling paper hanger. We were on the phone yesterday about seams. Okay, if you guys ever hang subway wallpaper, call me first. Don't let them tell you how it's supposed to look until they understand what a random match is. A lot of those project managers on those jobs, they say you can see the seams. It's literally a diagonal pattern. So there's grooves going this way. And so you just match it up randomly. They don't match. And so they don't really understand. They think the seams are supposed to be hidden. No one ever said that you're not supposed to see wallpaper seams. Yes, this, you're not going to see the seam. You hang dark colored, any grass cloth, you're going to see the seams. Very cheap wallpaper, you're going to see the seams because when it shrinks, it's going to pull away. A slight hair in it, you're going to see it. Even if you stay late at the job, keep them together. Generally, a seam on wallpaper takes about a half an hour to dry. So if you keep going back there doing this to a seam, after 30 minutes, it's really tight to the wall and then you can't move it at all. Alrighty, so there you have it, folks. I'm just going to continue cleaning it up, the line. Just show them the line. All right? If you have any questions on cutting, when you should double cut, when you should do a butt joint, when you should try to avoid double cutting, give me a call. If I'm available, I'll answer, or leave me a comment. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Please click on like and subscribe.